Good Sunday morning. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Chris Ramirez, and with your extended forecast here on KHOU 11 Plus. We're starting out pretty cold out there here across Houston. We are at 28 degrees. It's freezing, and we've been below freezing for the past several hours. So sunrise officially at 7:11 this morning. As we look at the impacts, we are going to be under a weather impact alert until 9 o'clock this morning. That's in just about an hour. So if you are heading out this morning, heavy jacket, gloves, hat, definitely necessary. Protect those plants, people, pets. If you haven't already, it's probably a little bit too late for that, but we are still looking at those pipes to be still at risk there as we head into the next hour. So your hourly planner for this afternoon, we're going to be in the 50s as we go into about the 3 p.m. hour, but we are expecting it to be warmer this afternoon, but we're also looking at those freezing temperatures for at least another hour or so. Freeze warning is in place until 9 o'clock this morning. That's all for our inland areas, as the worst of the cold is happening right now before we warm on up as we go into the next couple of days. So radar is looking mostly clear. We did see a few little flakes of some winter precipitation, especially out in Livingston. This was earlier this morning around the 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock hour. So if you were waking up this morning or was awake this morning out in Livingston or along the I-69 corridor, maybe just south of Corrigan, we did see a few flakes, and we're seeing more of that precipitation that was happening across Louisiana. That, of course, has fizzled off, and we're looking at mostly dry conditions here across the Houston area. But looking at those temps right now at the neighborhood level, Holly Street at 32, Grape Street at 31, that's in the Bel Air area, even across portions near Humboldt, Hamford Court at 31 degrees, even across near Lake Houston, Waterside View Court at around 31 degrees. But some of us are still sitting in the 20s as that sun continues to rise. We're much colder across Montgomery County. Magnolia right now seeing temperatures at 22 out at High Meadow Estates Drive, Comanche Road at 22, even near the Woodlands, West Shadow Point Circle at 24 degrees, South Floral Leaf Circle at 27 degrees. And areas across the southeast Texas are still looking at those wind chills in the lower 20s. So feeling as cold as 20 degrees at Bush Airport. That is when you factor in the north winds that we're seeing between 5 and 10 miles an hour. We're seeing some calmer winds, especially out across Conroe and Huntsville. So you're not seeing much of a wind chill impact if you are north of Houston. But from Houston to Galveston, you're still looking at a cooler wind chill factor as well. So current temps across the state of Texas, we're looking at 20s all across the board, 19 in San Angelo, even 24 in Dallas, Midland at 24. So we're about just a few degrees warmer than what they're looking at in Amarillo. But as we look at the future temperatures, we're going to be on that warming trend for this afternoon. Overnight temps still dropping into the 30s and 40s, but we're not going to see freezing temperatures tonight. That's the good news in all of this. Still going to be cold, but not freezing. And of course, freezing's at 32 or lower. But tomorrow, we're going to be much warmer. Finally, a pleasant day. High temps in the upper 60s, 70-degree temps, especially out in Columbus, even Mont Belvieu at 64, 58 in the Galveston area. So we're still being influenced by this high-pressure system that was just bringing in all this Arctic air and clear skies. That's really the cause of us being sunny, dry, cold for the past couple of days. However, things are going to change as we head into this next week. We have a little low pressure system with a cold front that's going to be moving through by Tuesday and Wednesday. That is going to bring some rain chances into the forecast for Tuesday evening. And that's going to be in the form of a cold front, but this cold front is not going to be as strong as what we've seen in days past. And so for the past 7 days, we've dealt with the freezing temperatures. We're still going to be above freezing, especially as we head into Wednesday. But we're not looking at any travel impacts for now going into the next few days. As far as that temperature outlook, it's going to be warmer than normal for much of the country. And we're going to be on the outer edge of this warmer outlook, especially as we head into the next 10 days. So also we're going to be drier than normal as well. So not really much in the terms of rain. I know we're looking at some rain chances and going into Tuesday and Wednesday, but that's not going to really be enough to get us out of this drought that's currently expanding across the Houston area. So for your 10-day high temperature trends, we are still riding that roller coaster ride of temperature changes as we head into the next 10 days. So highs in the 60s and 70s for Monday and Tuesday, and then we're going to be just a little bit bit cooler for Wednesday and Thursday. And then looking at this next weekend, we're finally going to have a weekend of pleasant conditions with high temps in the upper 70s, close to 80 degrees for next Saturday and Sunday. I know our last 2 weekends have been bone cold, bone chilling cold temperatures, but we're finally going to get a good weekend going into Saturday and Sunday with those temperatures warming on up. As far as your 7-day forecast, high temps are going to be about 55 degrees for today. We're still looking at that hard freeze still in place at least until 9 o'clock this morning. Overnight lows are dropping into the 30s, and then we will see those temps get up to about 68 degrees for Monday, eventually 70 degrees for Tuesday, and then a slight cool down by Wednesday and Thursday when we will see the arrival of that cold front that's going to bring that rain chance into the picture for the middle of the week. So something really good to track as we head into the next 7 days that we will be warming on up. But currently right now, if you're just now joining us on KHOU 11 Plus for our extended forecast, we are starting off pretty cold out there here across Houston. No clouds in the sky, mostly clear conditions. It's beautiful out there, but it is really cold with those temperatures at 28. Sunrise was at 7:11 this morning, and we are looking at still those freezing impacts at least until 9 o'clock this morning. So if you are heading out this morning, heavy jacket, gloves, hat, definitely necessary if you're heading off to church or for breakfast. Those pipes are still at risk. Still keep those plants covered at least until around noon today is when you probably could remove the cover on those plants, because this is the last time that we're going to really see these freezing temperatures, at least for the next 7 days. Overnight lows not freezing tonight. We will get up to about 55 degrees later on this afternoon, so we're going to be actually warmer than that this afternoon than what we saw yesterday, because we are expecting some Gulf moisture to start moving on in, and that is going to bring that warmer outlook as we head into the next few days. So freeze warning in place until 9 a.m. That is from the National Weather Service for all of our inland areas, and so the worst of the cold is happening actually right now in terms of that. So mostly clear across radar. We did have a few little flakes that were moving through Livingston. I wasn't too sure. This may not have reached the ground. We're looking at some very dry air that's currently in place. So if you were in Livingston, and you probably have some wintry precipitation, maybe some very light wintry precipitation across Livingston, let us know. Send an email over to Ramirez@khou.com to see if you actually got that wintry precipitation that we saw on radar here across the Livingston area just earlier this morning. This was around the 5 o'clock hour. So most of that precip was actually happening over Louisiana. You're able to see those flurries around the 7 p.m. hour, currently moving down I-49 toward Alexandria. So definitely looking at the mostly dry conditions, but no snow or no precipitation on radar. There is no wintry weather hazards here across Texas. We're just cold and dry with those temps in the lower 30s, especially at the street level, and we're still looking at freezing temperatures here across town, especially as we get closer just past the 8 a.m. Hour here. So if Montgomery County still in the 20s, North Greenvine Circle at 28, the Woodlands, West Shadow Point Circle just north of the Woodlands is at 25 degrees, and those current feels like temps are still in the lower 20s. So bundle up out there if you are sensitive to the cold, or if you are, even wearing gloves. It's definitely necessary if you're making your way out the door this morning. Maybe a hat, a scarf, your earmuffs, because this is the last day you're going to actually wear those, because we're going to warm on up going into tomorrow. But looking at across Texas, we are looking at mostly dry conditions. Temps warming on up into the 50s for this afternoon. We're going to be still cold tonight, but not freezing. We're going to be in the upper 30s and 40s, especially across Bush Airport, even 40 degrees at Hobby, 54 in Galveston, 39 in Huntsville, 38 in College Station, and then temperatures tomorrow afternoon, upper 60s. I think you're going to be able to actually lose those jackets tomorrow afternoon, so maybe just put those jackets in the closet, and you're going to be able to do that for the next few days, because we are going to be warming on up as we will see some increasing humidity. The Gulf moisture just really it's going to make a comeback to our forecast and bringing us the chance for some showers as well as some rain, especially as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday. We have this next cold front on the way that's not going to be as strong as what we've seen in the past 7 days. This is a Pacific low that's moving in from the west, and that is going to really bring us the chance for some showers for Tuesday night into Wednesday. So rain chances in store for us, but we will be a good, maybe dropping a good 10 degrees, going from the 60s and 70s to 50s for highs for the middle of the week. And so we are going to actually be a little bit warmer from this point forward as we head into that second week of February. And then drier than normal conditions are also expected as well, because we are also going to be looking at not really much in the terms of rain across our area. So your 10-day high temperature trends roller coaster ride at temperatures. Have your wardrobe all just out out there, because we're going to see jacket weather for those morning hours. Overnight hours, of course, jacket weather, and then afternoon hours warming up into the 60s and 70s, and we are looking likely that we might even be close to 80 degrees for next Saturday and Sunday. The good news, though, is that we might actually be looking at a pleasant weekend forecast for next weekend. So if you have those outdoor plans, save them for next weekend, because we're expecting it to be in the 70s with lots of sunshine. But we do have a little rain chance moving in on Tuesday, but we will be as warmer, especially as early as tomorrow, with temperatures in the 60s. So we are going to have that pleasant weather outlook at least for the next 7 days here across the area, but we're still looking at freezing temperatures here in the Houston area for at least another couple of hours. So definitely bundle up out there and keep those plants protected at least until this afternoon. Then you'll be able to lose all that protection, because we're not going to see those overnight lows drop to freezing any longer, especially for the next 7 days starting tonight and into tomorrow morning. And as always, we're keeping you up to date on the latest forecast here across the Houston area on KHOU.com and on the KHOU 11 app. This has been your extended forecast here on KHOU 11 Plus. I'm meteorologist Chris Ramirez. Have a great rest of your Sunday.